Alright folks, today we're going to do a little bit of nuke installation. These hives belong to the group Round Rock Honey that I teach the beekeeping classes for, and we recently made a big move, which is a great move. We moved from where we were teaching the classes out in Spring Branch, which was about a 40-minute drive for me, and we moved the hives up here to my buddy's feed store. It's Nucs Drive Farm and Feed, and it's only about 2 miles from my house, not about 30 miles from my house, so this is going to be great. It's a great location, it's safe, it's a lot cleaner, a lot friendlier, so we're really looking forward to the move. But anyway, today we've got 3 nukes set up here. We're going to go ahead and install them on the boxes that are below them. And you can see the hive on the left. That was a hive left over from last year. It's still doing really good. And I've got a bee bothering me, so I'm going to cut this off and put my veil on, and then we'll start it up again when we actually start installing the hive. See if we can get the camera set up here to where y'all can see. I don't know how good it's going to work, but we'll just set her down here on top of this other hive. I don't know if it'll stay balanced or not. It'll probably fall over halfway through, but installing nukes is extremely easy. All you're doing is you're taking the hive that is in the nuke, which is right here in these white boxes, and you're just simply moving the frames from the white boxes over into the wooden boxes, and shake your bees out, and then you have to release your queen. So as part of this video, I'll certainly get a good shot in of how you actually release the queen and go about it. I've had several people ask me how to do that. It's very, very easy to do, but it's also very easy to get wrong. You got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So want to make sure you get that right. So here's where we'll start off. We'll start with nuke number 1 here. These nukes came from Bee Weaver Apiaries in Navasota, Texas. So pop the cover off the body here. They're not going to need this honey super when we first set them up, so we'll go ahead and take that off. And inside here we've just got open hive. What I'm actually going to do is what I told Conrad I was going to do. I'm going to pull out these frame spacers, and I think I've told you guys that before. I absolutely despise these things. I've not had good luck with them in my own hives. Conrad says he likes them. I do not. I get all sorts of issues. I actually had to do a lot of work on the hive that my camera's sitting on there, that you guys are all sitting on top of. I had to do a lot of work on it about a month ago because they were pulling ribbon comb really bad due to these spacers. They were pulling a bunch of ribbon combs off the face of each comb, and they were also building comb that was standing up off the frame or off the foundation, which is not good because then you can't see, you can't do a good inspection because you can't see all the comb. So with that cleaned out, get my handy dandy knife here. There's a plastic strap that's holding this thing together. We'll just cut that, open it up, and voila. There you go, there's your nuke. That is, it's considered a 5-frame nuke, but it's 4 frames and a frame feeder. You can see our queen's right here in the cage. We're going to take a good look at our queen. Oops, make sure she's looking okay. See, she's marked with a red dot. She's marked for this year. She's a 2013 queen. She's a little queen, but I think she'll do okay. She looks healthy. She's crawling around. She's got the candy in there on the end. So what we'll do to release her is, if you look at this cage, there's a plug on that end, and there's supposed to be a plug on this end, but there's not. Actually, the candy cage is already missing. Conrad might have pulled those. But the point being, when you go to release your queen, pull the cork on the end with the candy. The reason you do that is because that allows bees, the worker bees, access to start eating their way into the queen. And the queen will also, if she can eat a little bit, possibly try to eat her way out. But the most important thing is the worker bees will eat their way in. They'll eat that candy and they'll work their way into the queen, and they'll naturally release her. So what we'll do is we'll just set her over. We'll move all these frames, and then we'll just set that cage. We'll just squish it into the honeycomb at the top of one of the frames. And then in a couple of days, she'll work herself out. So I'm going to set this camera back down and make sure. I'm not sure. Let's see what we can see here. Oh yeah, good enough. So I'm going to set this nuke down on the ground just so you guys can see a little better. Notice I didn't use any smoke. Not using anything with these bees. They're very, very nice bees, very gentle. I got to figure out what I do with my hive tool. What I do with my hive tool? I just had it, folks. Why do I lose all my stuff so fast? Oh, there it is. Okay, the camera fell over and I didn't realize it, so let's try again. I've moved the feeder here the frame feeder over from the nuc box into the hive. I'm going to do that. We don't have any boardman feeders. Conrad forgot to bring them. So I'm just going to dump a jar of honey in each one of these boardman feeders once I get them put in. And then I'm going to move all 4 frames over. I'm going to move my queen over and squish her in. You can see how the bees are already covering that cage again, taking care of her. And then we've got a whole pile of extra frames over here to the side. I want to move a bunch of those over and so we can actually fill this box up with the right amount of frames. So we'll just set this down here maybe. See if you guys maybe can see a little bit better if I set it closer. I don't know. Try to balance it against my pocket knife. Yeah, that'll work. It's just this simple, folks. It's just 1 frame at a time. Just move it over. These bees are very, very gentle. Very good bees. Goodness, come on now. Just can't get a break. So look at this frame here. Got a lot of cat brood on it. It's looking really good. Set it in. These boxes are a little too big, or else these frames are a little too short. I'm not sure. I have a hard time getting these frames to balance on the rails. I think the boxes are just a hair too long. This frame here, got a lot of open larvae, a little bit of nectar, a little bit of cat brood. So because it's got the pollen stuff on it, I'm going to set it over here towards the outside, beside that frame feeder. I can smell these bees blowing some alarm pheromone now. And on this frame here, we'll go ahead and take our queen. This frame's got some cat brood up top on the edge. So what we're going to do, take our queen and just smush her right here into the frame. Just smash her into the wax, just like that, so it sticks. Make sure you do it screen side out. You have to be able to have that screen side out. If it's not, the queen can't breed. So you have to have screen side out. Just set it right like that. And again, that cork has already been pulled. The candy's already exposed, so they'll just work their way into her. They'll just eat that candy and work into her. And this last frame here, mostly open. It's got a little bit of cat brood and mostly honey on the other side. So we'll just go ahead and set it in there. And we're going to push them together, but not so tight. We don't want them so tight that that covers the queen screen on that side. Actually, what I'll do, let's see. Yeah, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the queen cage here and I'm going to put it screen side down. That way I can smash these frames together close to do the proper bee space without worrying about suffocating her. So pick this frame back up. Smush her queen back in there. Most importantly, make sure that your access hole where she has to crawl out is not blocked. Make sure you don't accidentally smash her into the cage, into the comb so deep that that access hole gets blocked. We'll just set it in just like that. Scoot these frames together. And we'll scoot this frame over against it just to give it a little bit of support. It's still not going to do proper bee space. There's still going to be a gap. But that frame feeder doesn't allow for proper bee space really either. And then we'll just shake out what bees were left in the box. We'll set the nuc in front of the hive. They'll find their way in. I'm going to run over here and grab a couple frames. And we'll put them in and we'll be done. I don't think we'll get a full 9 frames in there because of that frame feeder and because of that queen cage being spaced. So these are combs that came out of hives that we had last summer that died out for some reason, so they've drawn the comb. So we're just reusing it. We're just putting it back in. I told you about this foundation. This is that Duragilt foundation. Personally not really a fan of it, but these aren't really my hives, so I just deal with it. If it were up to me, on my brood boxes, I would go foundationless. That's just my own philosophy. It's a little bit more work. This stuff here is irritating me already, folks. I'm struggling trying to get it to pop back into The groove, I can't get it to stay in the groove. It's wanting to be a mess. Gotta give them something. If you don't give them some foundation, you'll have even bigger problems. The bottom's trying to pop out. It's like it's warped or something. Maybe got heat warp, I don't know. I think that'll work. I think that'll hold it. Slide that in there. I'm having to shake these combs out. We got a good rain here last night and all these combs got water, rainwater in them now. We'll set that one back in there. And we'll come around back, set the lid on, and that's it. We're done. So, hope y'all got all that. Easy peasy. And like I said, it's got the queen bit. I'm not going to make the full video of releasing the queen because Conrad's already pulled the corks, but it'll put in here. I'll just title this video, you know, installing nuke, releasing queen, something like that. So, because I know there's folks that wanted to see it. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to do these other two real quick and be done. See ya.